So my name is Luke. I'm here with Gforce Software. I'm one of the developers here, and I'm here to talk to you about MAP. One of our first original instruments, actually. So we designed it with some inspiration from particularly West Coast styles of synthesis, but we've also kind of tried to marry that with maybe more traditional East Coast synthesis techniques, and the hope that we can kind of bring that West Coast flavor to a broader sound palette. In order to kind of display the capabilities of this synth, I've got a kind of simple dub loop here, like a dubstep drum loop, and I'm going to design a dub chord to go along with this loop, and we can kind of see how we can use MAP in action. In order to do this, I've just set up a basic Ableton clip with a simple minor chord, and as we play the clip, you'll start to hear I've just set up an init preset, which is just a basic sine wave. So now that we're up and running, we can start to design this chord and really make it fit into that kind of style, right? The first thing we want to do is probably add some harmonics to our kind of simple sine wave chord. And yeah, the MAP oscillator section is a perfect way to do this. Like I said, what we have is a more kind of West Coast inspired setup where we have two main oscillators and then a mod oscillator, which we can route into the other two oscillators, and in that way modulate them and create kind of audio rate modulation. Just as a simple setup, I'm just going to start to use the mod oscillator to change the shape of oscillator A, which, as we can see from this wave shape knob, is going to start to fold the sine wave and create something more rich. So we can do this via the shape mod control, and we'll hear as we do it, we start to hear those harmonics come through. And actually, something that's also really interesting about this type of setup is as we change the frequency of that mod oscillator, we'll start to change where those harmonics come through, right? So if we pitch it down, now we start to hear those harmonics are being added lower down in the spectrum. There's a whole world of possibility there in terms of how to create these harmonics. Now that we have, like I said, some harmonics via our mod oscillator, we can maybe take a look at the modulation system and we can add some movement to these harmonics. MAP is absolutely packed full of modulation. One of them is we have 3 envelopes and 3 LFOs per channel, per voice. And then we've also got our noise LFO, which takes samples from our noise oscillator here, and we can change the rate of that sample and hold via this sample and hold knob. We can also slew that sample and hold value so that we have more smooth modulations. Let's try and apply this noise LFO, which we can see moving here, to this shape knob, and we'll start to hear each chord have a different kind of tone and texture. So as I start to apply it, we have to click on the parameter. So now what we're hearing is a kind of different set of harmonics per chord, which is what we want in a kind of a good dub chord sort of changes and evolves as the track moves on. I think also maybe at this stage it's a good chance to move over to our filter section. Yeah, we have 2 filters. Filter A, which is a 5-band EQ with control over the resonance and the frequency and the gain of each band. And we've also got a second filter, which is a state variable filter that kind of morphs slowly from low pass to notch to high pass, then to band pass, and then back to low pass. As we start to modulate this, we can also do interesting things with the filter, with the sound. So let's try and, let's say, modulate the filter B mode with an LFO, simple. Cool, so now we can hear this filter is having its mode changed by LFO-A, and again we can always view this modulation as it happens via our kind of modulation visualizers. In order to kind of take this sound a bit further, let's add some echoes, again something typical of a dub chord. And I'm actually going to sync these to the host BPM. So let's maybe one at a time alter these echoes. So for map, we decided to create some totally original effects units, which again are based off simple ideas like delay and reverb. So our time effect is our kind of custom delay effect, and essentially it's takes inspiration from sort of classic tape echo machines, but we've created 4 separately controllable delay taps really. And again, we've got separate control over the pan for each tap, the feedback, and then we've also got kind of a master high pass and low pass filter. So you can really, again, shape those echoes. So maybe let's take this first tap and we'll pan it a little bit to the left. And then we'll start to introduce a second tap. So now we're starting to hear our dub chord really take shape. And yeah, I guess along with some nice delay, a bit of reverb never hurts as well. For our space effect, which again is based on reverb, but it actually takes a more granular approach. So it's got a slightly more experimental sound, I would say. And this time, rather than designing our sound from scratch, we can also make use of our presets. So for each of our effects and also our oscillator and filter sections, we've created a set of 5 or 10 presets, which will just kind of get you up and running with several types of sounds. So for this one, I'm going to try use this subtle backing preset, and you'll start to hear that reverb kind of layer in the background there, giving our nice dub chord loads of atmosphere. And yeah, they will just work really nicely with this drum loop. I would say another important thing to kind of point you towards as well is these XY pads. And the beauty of these is that we can essentially assign this XY pad axis to any parameter in the section. So let's say, for example, let's assign the Y-axis to the amplitude modulation that again is being controlled by the mod oscillator. So we do that by dragging the control over and then using right click to drag it and apply the modulation. Now we'll hear, as we start to move this control, that amplitude modulation is being applied to the mod oscillator. And yeah, we can kind of set up a whole host of modulations then to shape and morph this sound over time, and we kind of use it like a macro really.